Well, it rained a little last night, so I really can't do a heck of a lot till it dries up some. And at the moment it's not windy, so I do have a herd of chickens coming for some reason. They're following me. But I thought there was something I was going to talk about before I got distracted by the meth heads. You know, I saw where, like in these protests going on now, all of a sudden these, well, they're calling themselves the mothers of these people, no chicken, show up at these protests. And they're going to stand, they're all upset about the feds being involved, the Homeland Security. So they're going to stand between the protesters and the feds to protect their children. I am not impressed by this. Well, in Homeland Security, they gassed them anyway. But if you want to impress people and be a mother, go down there and grab these damn kids of yours by the scruff of the neck, bring them home and kick the crap out of them. The whole problem here is a lack of parenting in the first place. Don't go down there and encourage these kids to behave like fools. Take them home and straighten them out. It's a silly thing. Obviously, these kids, and a lot of them are like 30 years old even, they're behaving this way because of the parents. Now, like I said, I'm not impressed that the parents go down and stand up for them, but it's the same. I mean, this has been happening in schools for a long time where the kids are absolute jerks, but if the teachers try to control the kids, the parents get involved. Their little darlings would never do nothing wrong. It's the teacher's fault. It's not the little monster that they've raised. This is, like I said, it's not about black lives or anything like this. That's just nonsense. This is spoiled little bratty kids that have been coddled all their lives acting up, and nobody has ever disciplined them. And now it's up to the federal government to discipline them. And then the parents are upset that, you're disciplining my, and this little darling of theirs is trying to burn down the courthouse. That's just silly. But honestly, it goes back to the parents and to the education system. This has been growing for a long time. We're like in the third generation of this, which is a shame, and you gradually saw it creeping up all the time because the parents of these kids, they went to school and learned all this nonsense, and now they're passing this nonsense on to their kids, and the teachers are coming from that generation. I know the one day I was watching on some interview where this guy on the street was interviewing these two people who turned out to be teachers, two young women that were elementary school teachers. And then one of them was a history teacher. And when the guy asked, he found that out, and he asked, well, what do you teach? Well, I'm a history teacher. Well, okay, when was the country founded? 17 something, I don't know. That's in the curriculum. We don't teach the curriculum. Well, and the guy said, well, what do you teach? We teach, race relations and rioting and protesting. I thought that in an elementary school. They used to do that nonsense in college. Then it gradually crept into high school. Now it's starting in elementary school. And it's funny, like in these protests, they're all upset that Homeland Security is there protecting the federal installations. It had to end this way. I mean, there's no other answer to it. If you don't, these local government officials have really abdicated their responsibility for this. They can't control it. They have no intention of controlling it. it's going to fall on the feds to do it. So the feds come out looking like the bad guys, but they're having to do this because the regular officials will not take the responsibility for it. You know, it's not the police fault because they're under the thumb of these officials. So it has to be federal. And it's funny because then, like these mayors and stuff, they're saying, "Oh, we got to get these feds out, and we can't have these federal." But at the same time, they're saying, "Don't leave, God, don't leave me with these crazy people." You know, they know better. There's no other way to handle this, but yet they want to get reelected. So they're all for it. Get these federal people out of here. It's a lot of show. Politics is a horrible thing. But that was one of them. Buff Orpington got up on a haze, really. But they haven't done the whole, you know, normally, he's getting close though, where they really get into it and start flapping their wings and stuff to make a real ruckus. I think he's learning. It's going to be fun with that many roosters. I'm going to have cockfights up there. But, okay, like now when they're talking about schools, I won't get into it this time, but there's a whole thing about this whole education system that has just gone bad. Gone really bad. I got a herd of chickens. And when they talk about opening schools, I think, okay, yeah, don't bother. They want to do all the school stuff online. It's just indoctrination. There is no education involved in this. You're just a waste of time. There's really no point in opening the schools. I really would like to see them go back to the small schools like here. Yeah, I shouldn't go into it. But I see all these little one-room schools and two-room schools are still all over the country out here. Get the community together, start educating, and I mean educating, not indoctrinating the kids in these little one-room schools. That's enough of this, these big schools. You see what the product of that is. You know, I got too much competition here. But I'll maybe talk about education another time. But like I say, they're bound and determined they ain't going to open the schools. They want to do it all online, which is honestly a waste of time. I can see, I've known for years that you can meet a kid and you'll know right away if he's homeschooled or not. The homeschooled kids are well-educated, polite, nice kids. The kids that come from these bigger schools and public schools are just horrible little brats. But yet they're mother's little darling. So yeah, stand and protect your little brats from them horrible federal agents. Gestapo. It's just nonsense. But no good will come of it. Yes, fine chicken. Come on, chicken. Come a little closer. Get on camera. They really like walking around scratching and mothering to themselves. Now they ain't gonna quite get up here. They like to follow me around for some reason, though. I gotta lure them out into the garden, let them at the potato bugs, but I'm afraid they'd eat every tomato. And the chicken is hard to control.